Hello, Giants fans. Welcome to Giants Baseball 101. I'm Gabe Vaughn, your host. The Giants lost to the Diamondbacks 8-4 today, and I'm at a genuine loss to know what is going on. After the top of the first inning, the Giants had a 2-0 lead with Alex Cobb on the mound, and that should have been a decent enough position to win this game. In the top of the first, Giants got 2 runs. Mike Yastrzemski drove in 1 with a sacrifice fly. And then Joc Pederson hit a solo home run. And then it was Alex Cobb on the mound for the Giants. But Cobb had a really, to say that it was a rough day, that just doesn't even make the point. It was a blowout against Cobb. 5 runs scored against him. The Diamondbacks had a 4-run second inning. This was just from the guy that's one of the Giants' best pitchers, their All-Star. Can't forget Cobb was in the All-Star game here. I'm just not sure how it happens that they get an outing like this from him today in a game that they desperately needed to win. So there's just nothing I can say to deny the situation the Giants are in. I just can't deny right now how every game counts. That's true. And in the middle of all of that, I am just at a loss to know what is going on here. I mean, certainly this can kind of point to just the fact that excuse me, this can kind of point to just the fact that they completely failed to get anyone worth grabbing at the trade deadline. I could just keep going back to that, and when it just becomes clear that they really don't have enough pitching for things to actually be secure, you know, we just we just see how true that point is, that they needed to add on at the deadline, but they couldn't do it. And yet still, Logan Webb and Alex Cobb are 2 pitchers that the Giants just they have to be able to rely on, and they need to be able to count on not having outings like this from Cobb. And yes, I understand that the starting pitcher who's on the mound only controls a certain amount of the game, and we certainly saw that with Logan Webb's outing on Friday against the Rockies. I think that'd be a perfect example. You couldn't have asked for much better from him. He went 8 innings against the Rockies, allowing 1 run. Did the Giants end up winning that game? No, they did not. Webb really gave them all they could that day. And yet at the end of the game, even he was just not satisfied with it because, like he said that day, the goal is to win, and they didn't do it. He didn't really feel like his outing that day was a significant accomplishment, but he really just felt like it was wasted. And the reason was because the Giants needed to win the game and didn't. It's just they found a way to lose that day, but now with the other ace, Alex Cobb, on the mound, and just after a day when he just completely lost it, I'm just not getting this kind of turn of events for the Giants. And you could probably say like the same things about Camilo Doval and why he's kind of looking shaky right now, but the Giants are going to have their best pitchers step up in the big games. With all of the issues for the Giants, it was supposed to be a strength that they could at least rely on their pitching as it is on the high end of their roster. The best pitching that they've got is supposed to be really good. But if that's not true, if over the next less than 2 weeks now, if that's not true, if the Giants' best pitching that they've got is not really good, then they just don't have a chance to survive. And Alex Cobb showed absolutely nothing promising today. He just let the game get completely out of control, and that's the performance we got from the All-Star, and it happened. It can't be, this start just can't be undone. The Giants actually came kind of close to coming back in the 5th inning when they rallied. They scored 2 runs that inning and got the bases loaded, but Joc Pederson came up with 2 outs after a sacrifice fly brought in a run, cutting the deficit to 7-4. Joc Pederson stepped up to the plate. He was the guy, I remember, who homered before, but he just couldn't get the big hit that time. If that was a big moment in the game. Had Pederson been able to get on base there, who knows if the game could have taken a different turn. But he struck out looking, and unfortunately, I think that kind of sealed the deal for the Giants in this game. They weren't able to make another serious look at coming back, so they lost it, and the final was 8-4. So the Diamondbacks, they are a team that's like battling with them for the wild card spot. This is not a series that can be taken lightly here. These games they're playing against Arizona, they're not. They are definitely no joke. I'm sure we all. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I'm sure we all know, but that's just like, that's a solid fact. That's non-negotiable. And if the Giants, if they can just at least split this series here by winning tomorrow, it'll be something. The good news is that Logan Webb is on the mound. He was very effective against the Rockies on Friday. And it's true, and I mentioned this before, that the Rockies, they're definitely a non-contending team. So, I mean, even beating the Rockies is not the same thing as beating the contending Diamondbacks. So, it's not the same thing, but still, Webb was really dominant on Friday. He was dominant at Coors Field. So, let's just hope that having one of our aces, let's just hope that having our other ace on the mound goes better than having one of our aces today. Let's just hope Webb comes up with better results tomorrow. It's the best setup that I can think of. Really, for where the Giants are right now, I just don't think we could ask for a better setup with Webb pitching tomorrow. If Webb can't beat the Diamondbacks, I really can't think of who can. Thank you for watching. This has been Giants Baseball 101. Please subscribe if you haven't. Also, please leave your questions and comments. You know where to do it. I'll see you next time on Giants Baseball 101.